Coming up on this episode of The Power of Real Estate.
I didn't feel like getting up today, so I rolled over and pushed the snooze button and slept another 3 hours in time to watch reruns of Oprah.
Get out of my head, except for the Oprah part.
Yeah. So you watch, what, reruns of Desperate Housewives?
No, I just roll over and take a 3-hour nap.
Michelle, you ready?
Yeah, kick it.
Okay, Beastie Boys. Standing by in 3, 2, 1. She spent over 20 years as a successful realtor and realtor coach, recipient of over 40 sales, leadership, and literary awards from the legendary Music Row in Nashville. This is The Power of Real Estate with Michelle Moore.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're in the studio. I'm feeling it.
It's starting to get a little chilly in here.
Oh, it's hot, baby. It's hot.
Oh, is that what it is? It's hot on your side of the room. I get it.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. We're excited. We got producer Jimmy here in the studio. Welcome to The Power of Real Estate.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about 5 cold, hard facts I've learned about real estate. We're going to get right into it because we got a lot of stuff we're going to cover today. And I want to make sure that we get it all in a reasonable amount of time.
Is this covering your entire years in real estate?
No. Well, yeah, it is. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Right. So you may have learned it like early on or yesterday.
Yeah, and look, here's the thing. That's a great point. Yeah, and here's the thing. So I've consistently pretty much seen, even if you learn something today and you think back, you go, oh, wow, that really, was something that I see consistently true throughout the whole time. It just might be a slow learner or connecting those dots, right? All right, so 5 cold, hard facts I've learned about real estate. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, number 1, no magic pill. You got to do the work.
See what?
Okay, so this is why it's number 1. You ready? I kind of have you ever had the person that's the classic over-preparer or the person who thinks there's that secret, I could be successful if there's just like, if I just knew that one secret. And you're thinking, man, if I go to this class, I bet I'm going to learn the one secret that I'm missing. There's something I'm missing and no one's told me yet, and I'm going to learn it today.
Yeah.
And it's like, guess what? There's no magic pill. You got to do work. Okay, and I'll start every class and speaking engagement that I have, especially when I'm teaching something, which is really any speaking engagement, I'm teaching something. And so I'm really a teacher. And so what happens is I'll tell people, I start out every time with pretty much the same spiel. No matter what I'm talking on, I say, hey, look, so it's great you got in the car and you maybe even paid money to be here, depending on what I'll say, well, you paid your $75 when, for your class today, and you did this and you did that, and you got in the car, you got here, you got in the room, you're here on time, congratulations, or you're here, maybe even early. Congratulations, great. I love, getting to meet everybody or see everybody, but here's the deal. You can learn all different kinds of stuff, but you got to make sure that you get to the doing part. So if you hear something or think something and go, ooh, that's a good idea, or ooh, that reminds me, I need to add this to my website or my listing presentation, or I need to implement that, make sure that you write it down and you make a list, because you got to make a plan so that if you don't make a plan, then you're planning to fail. So if you're not making a plan and you're planning to fail, then if you make a plan and you implement that plan, then you're planning to succeed. And so let's plan.
That was a really good tongue twister. I bet you can't say that again.
How much? Have you want to bet lunch on that? No. But anyways.
How much would?
But that's the point. And so people, I'm always encouraging people. And then even sometimes I give out gift cards and prizes throughout the class if I see someone writing down oh, I need to do that. And so I'll be like, you writing something, adding that to your action plan, and they'll say yes. And I'll say, great, see me after class. I've got a little prize for you. I got a $10 gift card to, Chick-fil-A or something.
I'm glad you said that. I got a prize for you. See me after class. I'm like, whoa, what did I do wrong?
Flashback for producer Jimmy in 3rd grade.
No doubt.
So anyways, okay, so we're talking about 5 cold, hard facts I've learned about real estate. We talked about number 1, no magic pill. You got to do the work. And number 2 is focus comes before success. Woo-wee. I should put that on like a billboard. Focus comes before success. You got to focus. You got to know where you're going. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of goes with know where you're going, focus on your plan. So you've got, focus on getting the checklist done. You made your plan, of a checklist of things that need to get done and the next right things to do for your business. Focus on that list and go, no, I'm not going to check Facebook right now, or no, I'm not going to go to the gym and mosey around shopping and eating out a long lunch with my friends, or whatever it is that would sound like so much better, or check out the sale at your favorite boutique. No, this is focus. Focus, focus, focus.
You are no fun.
I know it, right? I'm terrible. All right, so 5 cold hard facts I've learned about real estate. And I'm going to tell you something. When I'm the most successful is when I am focused. I've got a guy that works with me, and he says, "Man, I tell you what, we can talk about something, and before I know it, you've already got the first 5 steps, done." And he was like, "You take so much action, but it's a focus. If I make a decision on something and it's big and I take it on, I focus."
I've got a quick example of that. Podcasting with purpose.
Oh, yeah.
We were recording a podcast, and then we talked about it.
Had a guest in here.
And then we went to lunch, and we hashed it out. And then, like a week later, it's like, here's the date. Here's when we're going to do it. Can you speak on such and such? What?
All the speakers are booked. I've already covered this, and we got the venue booked, and blah, blah, blah. You're like,
I'm like, yeah, I guess I can.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a great point. It's that. So here's the thing. Number 3, when we talk about 5 cold hard facts I've learned about real estate. Number 3, motion changes emotion. Motion changes emotion. So what that means is you start getting excited. Activity breeds activity. Things start happening. You're like, oh, I just booked that speaker for this event. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting because we got them. It's like you went from concept or idea to now I've made a call and I've got the venue booked, and now I've started, I've got the dream team list of speakers for this event to teach people how to do podcasts. And so here's our dream team that we hammered out at lunch. And so then you start calling people, and they start all saying yes. And you start realizing how great of an event it's really gonna be because you got your dream team. You're not having to go to number 2 for something, and then for the marketing aspect of it or for whatever. And so, you got your dream team, and you start. So that motion changes emotion. And sometimes I've got a guy that I'll work with, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So Ron, has worked with me for years, and he always laughs at me. We'll have these work days where he comes to my office and we'll work all day on stuff with my websites and this and that, and he does a lot of technical stuff for me, and I'll be like, man, we're on fire. I get all excited as we're marking stuff off the list, because when he comes, he's always like, okay, what's the checklist have on it? He knows I've got a list, it can be, and sometimes there are items that, will take an hour to get done or whatever, and he's got to figure out how to do it, or he's got to code this, or he's got to link, this or that with it. And so we might have 7, 8 items that it's going to take us 10 hours to get done. But I've got a list. And so as we're getting the list done, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire, or oh, Ron, and he'll start singing Alicia Keys, that girl is on fire, And,
I need to hear Ron sing that.
Oh, yeah, he's a singer. So this is how great Ron is. Ron actually had a song that was featured on the Delilah Show. And so, he writes songs and stuff as well. So he's very talented. But, yeah, so he'll start singing, and it makes just chills run down your spine, And so, okay, so we're talking about 5 cold hard facts I've learned about real estate. Number 4 is the fortune is in the follow-up. Oof. The fortune is in the follow-up. I can't tell you how many deals I've sold. I've even shared some of those throughout the time. I've seen it happen. Just follow up. Just call them. Be like, hey, look, I was thinking about you. I hadn't heard from you. I wanted to touch base. Where are you with this? Where are you in your decision-making process? And be quiet and let them talk.
Why do you think that the follow-up is so tough? Because I know it is. I don't have to ask you.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. So that's such a great question. And this is what I have come to believe. I think it is more about people don't know what they say they don't know what to say. And I believe that. That's why I just said that little script. Call people and say, because I've got that in there. And I say, call people and say, where are you with your decision-making process? And be quiet. Let them talk.
Yeah.
It's a very basic question. Look, and sometimes I think people are afraid of what the answer might be, but you know what? You need to know. Because if you don't follow up, the answer is no, and that's not good. And so following up, you got a 50-50 shot at least, usually. Even if you know it's a 2% shot, call. Just by following up, you're showing also you're displaying what it looks like to do business with you.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they're going to think, okay, if she gets a call from a for sale sign from my yard, is she going to call them, or is he going to call and follow up? You're displaying by following up that, oh, wow, this person's really on top of their business. They're going to follow up if there's a lead or an agent that calls about my house or about a showing or whatever. That's only displaying what doing business with you looks like. So we're talking about 5 cold, hard facts I've learned about real estate. Number 5. Ooh, this is a good one. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The word consistency means so much. Consistency is key. It is. I had really no idea, but when I look back in my career and when I've been absolutely the most successful and all that, I really was very consistent in some very basic things. I tell people all the time, look, I'm not teaching or training or coaching, and speaking on rocket science or brain surgery. This really is not either one. It's very simple. If you'll just master the basics, if you'll master the very basic things, you will be in the top 3% in the industry, period. If you'll do what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do it, and if you will call people back, or email people back, return people's phone calls, if you will follow up, some very basic things. So with Selling Simplified, the award-winning book that I wrote, every time I've ever signed it, I don't know if you know this, but every single book that I've signed, I have always from the beginning signed it with the same thing. It says the person's name and it says, treat your business like a business, Michelle, with a little heart. And a lot of times I'll put a heart there. And so, but here's why. So that says so much in that statement, in my opinion. Okay? Treat your business like a business. When a business has certain opening hours and closing hours. In other words, I didn't feel like getting up today, so I rolled over and pushed the snooze button and slept another 3 hours and got up, in time to watch reruns of Oprah.
Get out of my head, except for the Oprah part.
Yeah. So that's, so you watch, what, reruns of Desperate Housewives?
No, I just roll over and take a 3-hour nap. I don't watch anything.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's like, you're going to treat your business like a hobby. You're going to be right where you are today. You're going to be there in a year. And so, don't be surprised. So so you consistently roll it over and going back to sleep, apparently. But we're talking about consistently doing the things that you should be doing. And that means getting up and prospecting, going to the office, going on the tours, having open houses. If you don't have an open house, go to an agent in your office's open house when she or he is having.
I love this point, this consistency point, because I'll give you an example, and it's not real estate related, but I think it'll work.
Okay.
McDonald's.
Yes.
Do they have the best food?
No.
No. But they have the most consistent food.
Yeah.
I traveled to Paris about 20 years ago, and I saw and I was just curious.
Paris, Tennessee?
No, Paris, France.
I'm kidding.
And there was a McDonald's, and I'm like, this food tastes like it does back home. How do they do that?
I know,
it's
right?
It's the same. The buns are toasted, the same type of buns, like on a regular cheeseburger. There's no sesame seeds.
The same special sauce on the Big Mac.
Yes, they are consistent no matter where you go.
That's right.
But like you said, it's not that hard. It's just consistent.
Yeah.
Give people what they're used to getting and don't mix it up.
That's right. That's right. And so, but that consistency, if you're just doing something once, it kind of makes me think about the radio show, when we were on radio for 3.5 years, just because I started a radio show. We were just about this earlier today before we started recording. Producer Jimmy and I got into a conversation about, it's funny because just because I started a radio show, doesn't mean that everybody I knew or everybody that was listening needed to buy, sell, build, or invest in real estate that day or that week. And so you have to be consistent. It was a long-term commitment. And so I was sharing with him, I got a call yesterday from a guy who brought up the radio show. I haven't been on the radio in 2 years now. It's been 2 years and a month. No, it's been 2 years and like a month or two. But people still bring it up, whether it's at a speaking engagement or phone calls, prospects, whatever. I don't really work real estate sales because it's really just, things that kind of come up or previous clients or clients that I have. And so I take care of them. But I don't really work that because I spend most of my time really writing, speaking, teaching, coaching. I have a real estate school and all that stuff, right? And so, and doing the podcast. And so that's part of the speaking. But I'll have people that will reach out to me and need some help and, all that kind of stuff. But I've also positioned myself as an expert. They heard, he heard me on the radio. He knows I know what I'm talking about. And so, so that's what you want. You want to be where you're consistently, predictable. And if you, and look and be committed to the things that like make a plan. Don't just, I'm going to do something and we'll see how that works. Because if you're just throwing something at the wall, which a lot of people do, then you don't really know if it's effective. And so you got to do something for a year. Don't send a postcard to an apartment complex and expect that you're going to get 7 people that are going to buy and sell real estate with you in the next, 45 days. It's just not going to work that way.
Yeah.
They haven't met you. They don't know you. They're not familiar with you. They don't necessarily, their lease isn't up for another 9 months. So give it time. You've got to, you're just throwing something at the wall that's not going to work when you send a postcard to an apartment complex or anywhere really, one time. You've got to be committed for every bit of 12 months before you can even expect to see a return. So that's a 2 to 3 year commitment before you're really going to get a return. That's an example, but you've got to do that. You've got to be consistent. Otherwise, don't even send the first postcard. Save your time, save your money, save your energy, save your effort. All right. I hope that helps. If you don't get enough of Michelle today and through the show, you can always go to realestatecoachingsimplified.com. At the top of the homepage, you're going to see where you can put in for a free copy of Selling Simplified, my award-winning book that helps real estate agents jumpstart their real estate business. Just pay the shipping and the handling, which is $4.95. It doesn't get better than that. And also, yes, we take PayPal through there, so you don't even have to get your credit card out. I mean,
wow.
I know.
Making it easy.
Do you do that? When I buy something online, I'm like, please take PayPal.
Oh,
please
yeah.
take PayPal.
Yeah.
I'm like literally praying. And then when it pops up, because you got to make it easy for people. All right. Well, we'll see you next time on The Power of Real Estate with Michelle Moore.
Realtors, if you're ready to jumpstart your business, Michelle has your realtor coaching covered at realestatecoachingsimplified.com. Everything from coaching online teachings to in-person programs. Join us next time for The Power of Real Estate with Michelle Moore.